Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. So, usually I post how I beat or let's beat or a whole bunch of different videos about how I beat the latest Red Zone. But to be honest with you, yeah, realistically speaking, it's been a real struggle. It's really a real struggle. It's quite a tough fight. I have actually just about managed to beat it, so that was pretty cool. But before I post those videos, because yeah, they're tough. I wanted to post a video talking about Kid Buu and kind of the issues he really provides to like really the problems he basically makes you face. So now, the first phase is kind of one of those gimmick phases. He hits pretty hard. He will only fire a super attack in the last slot of the first phase, and he will disappear after 2 turns. So he's guaranteed to super with his final attack. He also, basically, to cut a long story short, is essentially guaranteed to fire a set number of attacks. I believe it's 20, and then he will regain all his health and enter the end phase. Now, I'm going to put this out there. If you have an AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you can beat Buu in 1 turn, and I highly suggest you do so. If you use 2 Chi-Lai items and you get really lucky, Goku can essentially take out Buu in 1 go, and that makes your life a lot easier. Now, unfortunately, it is still pretty rough to do, but I've seen a lot of people find success with that strategy. And even using a friend lead, people have tended to find quite a bit of success with that strategy. So definitely consider doing that, using a friend Goku, using 2 Chi-Lai items, those are the ones that create AGL orbs, and tossing it to the wind and just, saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to, try and YOLO him down. Because that feels like the one that people are consistently getting done and winning with. In terms of everything else, to be honest with you, definitely, all things considered, a very tough fight. Like I said, the first kind of like phase here is basically irrelevant, so your goal is to get out of here alive. But the second phase is where things become like really daunting. There's a lot of reasons why it's daunting, but the main 2 reasons are Buu heals and Buu gains attack every time he's hit. And it's only 5%, but Buu can get hit a lot because a lot of units tend to throw out a lot of attacks, and Buu has a decent chunk of health, so it's not like you can just YOLO him down in 3 or 4 attacks. You are essentially just trying to whittle him down overall. So it's definitely quite challenging, I would say, overall. For me, all things considered, I will say that from my side, I think it's definitely doable without the 9th anniversary units, what obviously is because I have videos on it. But yeah, the thing is, it is tough. So don't panic too much if it takes a little while. I do think obviously the 6 attempts thing is quite, how can I say, it's quite irritating for a lot of like players, because I think a lot of players, like, you can easily lose 1 or 2 runs, before you even like kind of manage to really get going, and I think that's really where people get like irritated, is that situation where they've lost runs, or they've lost 2 or 3 runs, now they're against the clock and they need to make a change to their team, they're panicking, and then you can't try for a whole nother day. So I think it's definitely a very difficult situation. That as you can see here, there are a couple units that have problems, and this is the other thing I was going to talk about, but Buu nullifies unarmed super attacks. So to clarify, those are super attacks that have the fist trademark. So those are the melee based super attacks, and these will essentially get you in trouble. So you need key-based super attacks. Those are kind of the safest really to go with. You can see here, just in terms of raw outputs, counters and things like that are great, but you're having a bit of a problem because you're throwing a ton of attacks back at Buu. So although you're doing a good chunk of damage, you are also essentially making him incredibly strong. So it's a bit of a catch-22 situation. I do think Strength Vegeta is one of the better units for this fight. But like I said, I think where possible, skipping the skipping the whole strength phase, like beating the strength phase, not doing the end phase, is really where you're going to get like your best performance, because it's just going to end up in a situation where you are taking so much damage because Buu is building up his attack so much. Now it's important to note that the second phase of Buu you can also attack lower, so it's very, very important when you are building your team that you bring some attack lowering. If you know you're not going to be able to finish it quickly, you need to settle in for the long haul, and the attack lowering is actually more important than anything else because it's going to cancel out his attack raising, and if you've got enough attack lowering you can actually make your life a lot easier. So you need to consider bringing that. It's definitely highly crucial. Now obviously you have to build a lot of things in. You have to bring attack lowering, you have to bring units that don't do unarmed super attacks. You need to also make sure that you have units that can heal and tank and be strong enough to actually dish out damage to Buu. So it's a difficult situation. It's not easy. It's not something that's going to be easy, and I fully believe that players will get frustrated, but there is a solution. There's a couple ways, there's different strategies, but there are currently enough solutions. I implore you to think outside of the box. If you're struggling with regular units that you are struggling with, that you've used for every other event, it's because the pacing does not suit them. And what you're doing is you're setting Buu up to out damage you by constantly hitting and attacking and giving him big damage. You can see that in a great example here, where I have AGL Goku and Tech Vegeta doing no damage, yet building up I think another 20% attack on Buu between the two of them. And that's where you have the situation where you are now having problems, because you are essentially highly boosting Buu as a unit, and it's tough. It's really tough. So I think you kind of have to, how can I say, I think as a player, try to think outside the box. That's all I can say. I can't really say too much more, but I would say think outside the box, give it your best try, and see how things go. You might be pleasantly surprised to see just how strong and how well you can get the victory if you just adjust a couple things. But with that being said, it is a tough fight. There's a lot of factors that you need to bring in and consider here, and that's why I say if you've got the build, if you've got the ability to ignore all of the mechanics and skip the end fight, then do it. It's a Chilai and Goku away, and it's possible. But that's really going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really do, and I'll see you guys in the next one. But as you can see, this run failed, and sure a lot of you are frustrated, but you'll get there. So just keep going and it'll be all good to go. But yeah, that's it for me. Bye.